Your 9-month-old has been staring at a single wooden spoon for almost 4 minutes. Not crying, not fussing, just looking. You almost reach over to wave a hand in their face, because something about it feels off. Don't. That kind of stillness in a baby this young is one of the first things developmental psychologists look at when they screen for unusually high cognitive ability. And it's the first sign on a list of 5 that almost no parent connects to a high IQ. Most parents only know one ruler for baby intelligence, the milestone chart. Sit by 6 months, wave by 9, walk by 12. So when your baby does something strange, you check whether they're behind, never whether they might be far ahead. You're not imagining it. You're using the wrong ruler. In this video, I'll walk you through the 5 quiet signs babies with extremely high IQ tend to show in the first year. Stick around for sign 3, the one that gets these babies labeled difficult by almost every parent who has one. Sign 1. The long, motionless focus. Most babies under a year cycle through objects every 20 to 30 seconds. They look, grab, mouth, drop, move on. That's developmentally normal. But there's a smaller group of babies who, by around 6 to 9 months, will lock on to a single item, a ceiling fan, the texture of a curtain, the shape of a wooden spoon, and stay there for 2, 3, sometimes 5 full minutes without breaking gaze. Researchers in early cognition call this sustained attention, and it's one of the strongest infant predictors of later IQ. A long-running study from the University of Texas tracked babies who held attention beyond what was typical for their age, and found a clear correlation between those long focus windows in infancy and stronger working memory and verbal. Scores at age 4. Here's what gets confusing. To a parent, it can look like your baby is spacing out. Picture this. Maya is feeding her 7-month-old Theo in the high chair. She turns to grab a bib, and when she looks back, Theo is staring at the corner of the wall. Not at her. Not at the food. At the wall. She waves. Nothing. Her stomach drops. She wonders if something's wrong. Theo is fine. He's mapping. His visual cortex is working through edges, light, and shadow with a precision most babies his age can't hold yet. The blank stare isn't absence. It's deep computation in a brain that doesn't have words yet to describe what it's noticing. What to do. Don't interrupt the focus. Let the window run. When you constantly snap a baby out of deep concentration to engage them, you accidentally train shorter attention spans. The kindest thing is to sit close, stay quiet, and let them finish on their own clock. Sign 2. They notice when something is different. This one usually shows up between 8 and 14 months, and it confuses parents because it doesn't look like intelligence. It looks like fussiness. You move the couch 6 inches to the left. You swap the bath toys for a new set. You wear a different perfume or a shirt they haven't seen. Your baby gets weirdly upset or just stares at the changed thing for a long time before they'll engage with anything else in the room. That isn't sensitivity for its own sake. It's a sign of unusually accurate environmental modeling, what cognitive scientists call rapid statistical learning. The baby has built a detailed mental map of their world, far more detailed than most babies that age, and any deviation hits the system as a "this doesn't match" signal. Think about Sarah and her 10-month-old, Mia. Sarah replaces the old crib mobile with a new one, same shape, slightly different colors. Mia refuses to sleep that night, and the next. Sarah feels like she's done something wrong. She hasn't. Mia's brain just tracks more variables than most 10-month-olds, so the cost of a small change is bigger. A week later, Sarah's husband comes home with a beard he's been growing on a work trip. Mia stares at him for a full minute, and then bursts into tears. He's hurt. He shouldn't be. Mia is doing the same thing she did with the mobile, on a face this time. What to do? Name the change out loud, in simple words, and give them a beat to process. This is the new mobile. The other one is in the closet. Or, Daddy looks different. Same daddy. Even pre-verbal babies feel calmer when the unfamiliar thing is acknowledged instead of treated like it isn't there. Sign 3. The difficult baby misread. If you've thought, more than once, that your baby is just harder than other babies, this section is for you. Babies with very high cognitive processing tend to take in more information per second than their nervous system can comfortably regulate. More sound, more light, more pattern, more change. Combine that with a brain that's already running ahead of where their body and language can express, and you get the picture parents describe over and over. Highly alert, hard to soothe, sleeps less than other babies, gets bored fast, hates predictable toys, melts down when overstimulated. Pediatric researchers have a name for this: cognitive overactivation. A study out of Vanderbilt followed a group of infants flagged early as fussy and high needs and found that a meaningful subset of them, roughly 1 in 5, scored in the gifted range on cognitive testing by age 3. Here's the part that hurts. These are the babies most often described to other parents as spirited, intense, or, quietly, difficult. Their parents are exhausted. They get unsolicited advice on how to calm the baby, when calming isn't really the issue. The issue is a fast brain in a small body. Picture James and his 11-month-old, Eli. Eli wakes every 90 minutes through the night. He hates the soft rattle his cousin loved. He stares hard at strangers and bursts into tears at loud restaurants. James is convinced Eli is colicky and feels like a worse parent than his sister, whose baby sleeps 8 hours straight. Eli's pediatrician, half joking, says one day, "Or maybe he's just smart and bored." That offhand line ends up being the most accurate read of the year. What to do? Stop trying to make a high-input baby tolerate low-input environments for longer than they can. Shorten the exposure. Add quiet, dim, single-channel time. One toy, one face, one sound, after anything stimulating. You're not coddling them. You're regulating a system that processes faster than it can yet metabolize. Sign 4. Early, locked-in eye contact. By around 4 months, most babies hold eye contact for 1 to 3 seconds before looking away. That's healthy. It's how their nervous system practices regulating itself in connection with another human. A small percentage of babies do something different. They lock in. 5 seconds, 8 seconds, sometimes longer. And the eye contact doesn't feel like a baby look. It feels like the baby is reading you. Parents almost always describe this in private, never out loud, because it sounds strange. It's like she knows what I'm thinking. Developmental researchers don't laugh at this description. Long, intentional infant eye contact is associated with early development of what's called joint attention, the ability to track what another person is paying attention to. Joint attention is one of the strongest predictors of later language and social intelligence on the books. Here's a small thing to watch for. High IQ babies don't just hold eye contact, they often follow your gaze. You glance at the door before you stand up, and your 6-month-old looks at the door too, before you've moved. You look up at a passing bird, and they look up. That's a level of social cognitive inference most babies don't reach until well past their first birthday. There's a flip side worth knowing. These same babies sometimes refuse eye contact with people they don't trust, even relatives. A grandparent leans in to coo, and the baby turns their head away cold. Parents apologize. They shouldn't. The baby is making a fast read on the social environment and protecting their nervous system. That isn't shyness. That's discrimination, in the cognitive sense of the word. What to do? Hold the gaze when they offer it. Don't break it nervously. This is the moment they're learning that you are a mind, not just a face. Talk softly during it. Name what you see. You're looking at me. I'm looking at you. Sounds simple. Builds the architecture. Sign 5. They anticipate the next step. This last one is subtle, and it usually shows up between 10 and 14 months. Most babies live mostly in the present. Now is now. But high IQ babies start showing predictions surprisingly early. You start filling the bath, and they crawl toward the bathroom before you've said the word. You reach for the car keys, and they look at the front door. You sing the first 3 notes of a familiar song, and they grin in expectation of the 4th. Cognitive scientists call this anticipatory schema formation, and it's a marker of working memory and pattern recognition working in tandem. The baby has stored a sequence. When mom does A, then B happens, and is now running it forward in their head before B occurs. Think about Priya and her 13-month-old, Anya. Every night, Priya says, "Bath time," fills the tub, and carries Anya in. After about a month of this routine, Priya hears the tap turn on and turns to find Anya already crawling down the hallway toward the bathroom. Priya didn't say anything. Anya read the cue. The trap most parents fall into here is breaking the routine to challenge the baby. Don't. Predictable sequences are the soil this kind of cognition grows in. The more your baby can run accurate what happens next simulations, the faster their executive function builds. Variation comes later, on its own. But what almost no parent does, the thing that matters more than spotting any single sign on this list, is what comes next. Your baby isn't a puzzle to solve, and you're not behind or missing a milestone the other parents nailed. These 5 signs aren't a test. They're a window. What matters more than catching any one of them is this. A fast brain still lives inside a baby's nervous system. The slow, warm, ordinary moments with you are what let that cognition grow into who they're going to be. If this shifted how you see your baby, hit subscribe. New video every week. And tell me below, which of these 5 did you notice first?